all we're really doing is just revamping an old unproductive bed and making it very productive. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Art of Creation Homestead. My name is Jason. It's warm. It's Southwest Ohio. It's garden planting time. I mean, we're on it now, right? We got all this stuff here growing up though. This is raspberries, okay? This started with 2 raspberry bushes, okay? 2 raspberry plants, just little bitty twigs a few years ago, and it grows into a mess really fast. Now, obviously, there's weeds pull up in here, and it's spread out like crazy. And it's a lot. It's a lot to handle. It's too much for us, to be honest with you. And the raspberries haven't been as productive the last couple of years. It is a double cropping variety, but it's been a lot to deal with, and it's more than what I want to mess with, to be honest with you. It's become a big giant mess, and we're ready to get rid of it. But I don't want to lose the raspberries. So we're going to do something today. We're going to clean this mess up, but we're also going to plant some raspberries in these grow bags. I'm gonna take up 2 of these, I believe. This right here is, so this is a raspberry that's spread out amongst the weeds and junk. But here's all this. But the problem is that it's also taking over the apple tree. Now the apple trees haven't exactly been super productive, but they're still overtaking it. The fact is, this spot can be more productive with something else. If we take these raspberries and plant them appropriately, then we can put other things in here and be more productive with our space. Because when you're gardening in a small space like we are, it's very important to make sure that you use your space wisely, and you try not to make a mess out of everything. Things are going to happen. Things are going to get overgrown and not kind of pan out the way you wanted them to, but you really got to manage it appropriately the best you can in order to use your space right and be the most productive growing food. So if I just get these weeds out of the way, and hopefully I can just get down in here, pull this bad boy up with plenty of root. Yeah, there we go. And replant him. Really simply, right there. Now I'm going to do that a couple more times and get 2 the little roots, those 2 of the little shoots, offshoots, into 2 different grow bags, okay? And the last one right here. I'm just putting them in these grow bags again to hopefully be able to continue to have some raspberries, not lose what we bought, but at the same time keep it under control. Now the big chore is going to be cleaning all of this out. That looks like a mess, but at the same time, the soil's been well taken care of. We've added stuff to it. It should be pretty loose. Raspberry should be easy to pull up, but it got thorns, so I got some gloves because I don't feel like cutting up my hands today. These really are a beautiful plant. I hate to waste them, but they're just in the way, and I don't really have any place for that many raspberry plants. What's wrong, Tootie? Huh? How you doing? Tootie. What? Another thing about this patch of raspberries and weeds. First of all, they'll cut up your arm a little bit, scratch it up. Nothing crazy. But also, that's where the rabbits would hide at. They were really safe in there in the little thorn patch, kind of like thing. They were super safe in there. Nothing going there and get them. So kind of attracted rabbits to our place by having more places for them to hide. And well, you know, the rabbits kind of did a number on our green beans last year. So we're trying to avoid that. All right, we're back at it. We've got this project started, as you've seen, and well, we had to stop for a little bit. Now we've gotten back at it. I've tore all this out pretty much for the most part, let it out here and let it dry and finish dying out. And we're gonna finish doing this part and all the way down here. All right, we have a lot of things still to pick up. I'm gonna probably run my tiller through it again. We're gonna try and get all this cleaned up because we have a lot to plant here still. One thing we've always had here is we've always had some rosemary. I think we had one large rosemary bush there before. I think I planted another one here last year. Neither one of them came back. See, rosemary is an evergreen. All right, it is an herb and it is a plant you buy. It is an evergreen as well. So in certain climates, certain temperatures, it will overwinter. Or if you had it in a pot and take it inside, you could probably get it to survive. We've had rosemary to come back here before. It doesn't do it very often. I think if you mulch it really hard, it will, and we did not. So that being said, we're gonna plant some more rosemary. Yes, we planted some in a pot up there for growing more herbs, but we love growing rosemary so much, and it is so beneficial. And if you get to come back, it'd be stinking awesome. So we're gonna plant some more rosemary out here and plant some other things. Now you see here, we're finished. All we did was go in, first of all, I had to get my gloves. I'm somebody who I hate wearing gloves, but at the same time, for this was kind of necessary, so I had to go get my gloves because I didn't want to get the thorns from those raspberries on my hands. So I hate wearing gloves and shoes, but I had to put my boots on too after a little bit for tilling. But either way, so after I got my gloves on, so after that I went and got my dump cart and had to start filling it up with some of the weeds and the raspberries that were left over, and got through, do all that, use the mattock to start getting some more of the roots and junk up and the grasses that have gotten through here over the time. And then went and got the tiller, used this tiller to till this thing. We've never tilled this spot. We've had white Dixie butter peas in it before. We've had rosemary planted there before. We've had melons planted in it before. We actually had some blueberry bushes at one time too, until I destroyed them. But we never tilled it up. I weed eated the grass down, and I've put chicken bedding on it before, and so the soil was okay. It just never been tilled. So if I'm going to go through this whole process of doing all this junk, I wanted to go ahead and till it up, get it looking decent. It looks pretty solid right now. I'm gonna let it rest for a little bit, and then we'll get started planting it. All right, so here we are. We're gonna get this bed finished today, and to do that, we got to get a couple trellises put up first. We have an old trellis that we got to kind of redo a little bit. We're gonna put it right here so we can put some melons on it, and then over here we're gonna put another trellis up here that's gonna be T-post and welded wire to put some like a lima bean on. We'll show you in a minute what it is. All right, we have this small trellis down. It's only about 4 or 5 feet long. Probably about 4 foot long. It's okay, we didn't want it to be very big. All we do is just put some T-posts in the ground right here, drive them in, a little bit of welded wire up here, and a couple of zip ties right here and right here. Hopefully you can see that. And we just move along. Now on this trellis, we're just gonna put these right here. Baker Creek calls them melons. You see that, rich sweetness 132, but the more common name might be plum granny. Okay, so it's very similar. If it's not plum granny, it's really darn close. It's an incredibly beautiful fruit from the former Soviet Union. Super sweet, pure white flesh, perfect single serving or for children's gardens. I'm a child, right? Fruit weighs only about a quarter pound, and a lot of people actually plant these just for the fragrance. They'll take them and harvest these and put them in their house just for the fragrance, because it's such a beautiful fragrant smell. So we're gonna plant some of these. This again is a classic, Appalachian, or southern thing that a lot of people back in the old day did. I think Angela's grandma did that in Tennessee, right? Tennessee and here in Ohio when she moved here. So, and her mom actually did too. So it's not uncommon for the older folk to know how to grow these and use them for fragrance. But we're gonna put those here because they sound really stinking cool. Honey rock, cantaloupe. We're gonna try those. Get them growing. We tried it last year, just didn't work out. And this one right here, an orange watermelon. Sounds really stinking cool, and we're gonna try it. So those are the melons we're getting ready to plant. All right, we got the melons planted. We just, honestly, nothing crazy. We put, 4 mounds of the plum grannies in, yeah. Is that right? About 3 seeds in each one. And we're, again, trying to get those to trellis because they're small and pretty good viners, so hopefully they'll trellis. Honey rocks, but 3 mounds of 3 seeds, and the Orangelos were 4 mounds of 3 seeds. Does that sound right, Ange? Yes. All right. We're just trying to get some melons because this space over here has been relatively unproductive for us over the course of the last few years. Like the raspberries were okay, they got out of hand, and chickens ate most of them, which is okay, but it was just pointless. We had the rosemary over here, it was doing good, but it kind of faded out. and froze out. We've had blueberries over here that I ruined them by putting coffee grounds on them, trying to get more acidity to them, and just burn them up, to be honest with you. So now we have blueberries in grow bags, and so it's just, last year melons were over here, but a tunneling critter again got under there and kind of ruined the whole thing, so nothing really grew right. It's been a pain in the butt, and it's exactly how we want to grow food. We actually always wanted to use the edges of our yard to grow food because we feel like that's the most efficient way. If you could literally go up one side, across the back, and down the other side, you have much more growing space and not lose your yard. That's the more efficient way to work from outside in. But our back and side yard doesn't really go well for that. So this section does, because this is really a big, massive garden spot and doesn't use any of our yard. We're not losing a darn thing out of the yard. So we really want to make sure this is more productive than it has been. We just haven't been able to get it there. So we're going to put forth a better effort, try harder, never give up. That's the main thing. If something don't go the way you want it to go, don't give up. It ain't worth giving up. So we're putting this rosemary back down in here, breaking the roots up, getting it going, because we love fresh rosemary. And we used to have a neighbor back when we lived in an apartment. Her name was Rosemary, so it's kind of a good joke. Hey, going outside and cut a piece of rosemary? Hey, that sounds a little dangerous for poor Rosemary, don't it? Maybe we're going to throw Rosemary in the soup. Poor woman. She never stood a chance, did she? Goodness. So, I mean, Rosemary's been a good joke, but we love to grow rosemary. And it's very valuable to us. So we're doing our best to get it. As much of it as possible. We've had this bought for a couple of weeks now and just haven't got it in. So, getting it in, doing that. And you know what? Also, is it productive? Yes. Also, it gives life to your yard. When you have all this stuff growing and producing fruit and blooming and whatever, and it actually it's so much life in your yard. It's so fun to just have life in the yard. So there's a couple more rosemary plants. Let's get to planting some butter bees. So Angela's going to take this edge of the hoe and give us a row right here. That's for what we're going to put on the trellis. And then right here, she's going to lay out this row, the full width of this hoe. And what we're going to do then is these butter peas are bushing where these are poles. These are going to be bush. So we're actually going to go like a 2 wide row right here, the full length of this spot here. And we're going to do that for two different butter peas. And here we go. All 3 rows are planted. Get down there and show you what each bean or each butter pea bean looks like, okay? Here's the white Dixie butter peas. Yes, they're treated seeds. It's the only way you can find them really is treated. These came from Hoss Tools. And they're just treated with a little thirim or whatever it is called. They say it's safe, who knows? But we planted them 3 wide the whole way up and down. Jackson Wonder butter peas are right here. You see, they're really stinking cool. Beautiful looking seeds right here. They look awesome. Very flavorful. Same way up and down that row. And these here are something new. Here's the ones on the trellis, and they are this lima beans, Alabama black-eyed butter bean. Okay, they say it's not really a lima, but kind of is a lima. Kind of a butter bean. It's gonna grow on a trellis. Angela Kay had to have them, so we tried them. And that's all she wrote for this one. Again, sometimes you gotta look at a situation and realize it's just not as productive as you need it. Do the hard work, change it around. That's what we've been doing a lot of today. We ripped out some lavender out in front when we finished this up. Changing things around. Make it more productive, make it better looking, whatever. Sometimes you just gotta cut your losses and move along and try something different, and that's what we're doing here. Hopefully it works out. We're gonna try. All you can do is try, right? Try and trust God. And that's what we're doing. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. My name is Jason. That's Angela Kay. It's Art of Creation Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.